I personally feel like if two consenting adults are in the moment and everything is good, then I'm with it. Whether it be the first night or the, well, I'm not waiting 90 days, but whether it be the first night or whenever, you know what I'm saying? Because people could be like, oh, well, you shouldn't sleep with this person on the first night. I do agree with some of the stuff they were saying. There have been relationships, whole relationships that have spawned off one night stands. Now, I'm not saying that that's the greatest way to go. I'm not saying it ain't the greatest way to go. But I just feel like if y'all are two adults and y'all feeling a connection, there's no need to play games. I'm not here to judge. But that leads back to my question. Do you guys believe in the 90-day ladies? Do you believe in making a dude wait a certain amount of days? I'll say that before having sex, or are you more so in the moment?
I
Organically, whenever
yeah,
I'm
I
ready.
mean, in real life,
She said in real
I
life.
like you. I'll do it. You know, if there's no one else on the side, I don't see a reason not to. I will. But for the women who do give 90 days, I don't want them to get a bad rap just because they want to wait. Because just like the young lady was saying, you don't want to do all that to your body. And if you're dating multiple people, I could give it up to multiple people if I want to. But at the end of the day, if you are mentally trying not to expose yourself to all of these people and all of these bodies and get your count all the way up so you're a whore, okay, then what's 90 days? And if you're really feeling that person like you say you are, and you dating that person just like y'all say women be dating people for money and all this other, if you dating someone other than for sex, then what's 90 days? If you really like that person, that's your wife, or that's who you know you want to be with, are you feeling her? What's 90 days?
That's
And
three.
then we
I'm
can
not
talk
waiting
about
on
self
90
control
days.
then.
All right, cool. I'm gonna go I'm gonna go to my homie King Gene. King Gene, would you wait 90 days? Do you think there's anything wrong with the woman saying, well, you know what? I'm a hold out for this many days. Is that a manipulation tactic? What do you think?
Well, now I have the answer based upon what I believe. And my belief is that you shouldn't even be considering the thought of sex unless you marry. And everybody on the panel know where that comes from. I don't have to tell you. I did not have sex with my wife until after we were married. After. So if you asking whether or not self-control is important, you're talking to a person who believes in it. I believe in it. So
That's the
90
only person you
days,
ever had sex with?
90 days, huh?
I
Hold
said
on,
that's the only person you ever had sex with.
let him, I'm gonna let him finish explaining, then you
So,
ask him. Go ahead, King Gene.
so 90 days is not a difficulty. It's not. That's why I asked at the beginning of this, what are we trying to do? Is the goal to have a husband and a wife and children and a family? Or is the goal just to say, okay, well, I found somebody that can take me out. We're going to have companionship. And that's going to be it. What's the goal? I still don't, nobody can tell me what the goal is. So that's why I'm confused. But if you ask me what I thought, what I believed in, if you're looking at the situation and you're saying that we're going to enter into a sexual relationship after we've taken our vow, then 90 days doesn't even make any difference to us. It doesn't even come into play because we don't care. Because after I put a ring on you, after your name is Miss Luton, after I've taken you as my wife, then we can talk about the sexual relationship. But that's not how we do things now. So you put the cart before the horse and then you wonder why you can't get to town. Oh, that's just me now.
All right, go ahead, Danielle. Same question to you if you want to go ahead and respond to King Gene.
I said that's the only person you ever had sex with.
Nope, it's not.
So you married everybody you had sex with?
I didn't. She was the second person I had. What's the point? What's the point that you making?
I wasn't making a point. I was being nosy.
Okay. So if you're not making the point, then let me respond to what you're saying. Let me respond.
You did. My
I,
response was I was just being nosy and asking the questions and you answered them.
Well, I have the right to respond even to that, don't I? This is a talk show, isn't it? Last time I take Mr. Kyles, is this a talk show?
Yes, sir.
Let me get back into it then. That whether or not she was the first or the third person that I slept with, throughout our encounters, this particular woman, in my conversations with her, in my dealings with her, I realized that she was someone that I wanted to invest time in. And over time, I came to understand that this is the woman who needs my last name. Everything I do, she compliments. Everything that I'm involved in, she makes it greater. So what are we looking for? That's why I'm asking. Are we looking for somebody just to say, okay, I got a boyfriend, or are we looking for something that we can build something long and lasting and fruitful from? That's all I'm asking.
All right, Danielle, do you believe in making a guy wait a certain amount of time, or are you a go with the flow type of person?
I go with the flow.
Okay.
If I like you, we doing it. If I don't, we not. I'm not even gonna keep talking to you if I don't like you.
Okay. All right, Chris. Same question to you. Do you believe in making somebody wait? Do some women use that as a tactic, as a manipulation tactic, or are you a go with the flow? Do you believe in going with the flow? What do you think?
Excuse me. I don't think it's necessarily making people wait. It's more of an agreement between two people. Like when you meet that person, you typically say, this is my lifestyle. If you don't like this, we don't have to continue this courtship. It's not like I don't think that women should ever go up to a man and be like, you're not gonna get any unless you're with me for 3 months. Like, I think that's just odd, and I don't think that works. I think that's a manipulation tactic. It's more so how you carry yourself. Typically, people kind of play off of what you do. So if you don't want to make it like a mutual agreement, then it's more so like you're not going to put yourself in situations where you're going to do something that you don't want to do because of your religious or spiritual reasons or just personal reasons. So you don't meet this person after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. You don't go to their house. You don't do things that are too intimate because you're setting boundaries. I think that's completely reasonable to have certain boundaries and set up an expectation that you want to wait until you're married or you want to wait a certain period of time, but to like voice it as an ultimatum, I think that's very odd. I can't remember your third. I think you had like 3 parts.
Well, no, that was pretty much it. You pretty much answered it all.
Cool.
I'm gonna go to Japrice and I'm gonna go to Roxy. Same question.
So for me, I believe in the agreement of two consenting adults. However, I do also believe in outcomes. So, and there's risk in it. So you just have to, the people just have to know the outcomes and the risk that comes with having sex early or having sex late, or you guys not ended up being together and that's another person that you just, slept with or wasted your time with. So I just believe it's agreeing, just two agreeing adults.
I agree with her.
All right. There's Roxy.
I agree with what Japrice just said. I honestly, everything she said, I would agree with it. But regarding like specifically 90 days for me, I think for men it's a little different. Just anatomically, a man going into what I've at least heard my husband describe a warm, wet area, right? That is a different experience than a woman dealing with someone who may not know how to use his equipment, may have some issues around impotence, or may be small. So that being said,
going straight for the jugular.
I think it'd be hard to commit. No, I'm just being honest. I think it's a little harder for women because you'd be more curious, like, oh my gosh, say if when we actually do this, he can't keep it up. Or say if when we actually go here and do this, it's small.
Or it's quick.
Right, exactly. So the thing about it is, and that's something you have to be realistic about because you may think like, oh, I can tolerate anything. Anything my husband does is going to be fine. And then you're like, ugh. That I think is different for men because I think, again, like I said, the vaginal area is a muscle, right? So for the most part, that man is most likely going to enjoy himself. That woman may not have that kind of enjoyment. And don't get me wrong, a woman probably could have a dry area. I've heard men say that about women that say like, I heard a man say once that this woman that he slept with was like sandpaper. And I don't know how that possibly could have felt to him. But I'm sure after that, and probably before that, he's had women who are just more like the normal because anatomically, that is an area of your body that just for childbearing, it's a so I don't know. I just feel like a man would enjoy himself 90 days, 10 days, 3 days, 1 hour. A woman probably would be a little bit more concerned about that kind of commitment. Waiting that 90 days and then you get that, then it's like, damn, what do I do now?
But you can live pretty well by